Welcome to the Primo's Musings podcast.
Good morning. This is Sri Primo here with a Week 12 preview of the NFL. Week 11 was a signature. We kind of covered it. Bills broke the Chiefs' undefeated season. Miami Dolphin 1972 team toasting. And we had the gritty Steelers winning 18-16 against the Ravens, establishing themselves, and the Lions definitely dominating the NFC. So week number 12 has had a very interesting, great, one of the excellent games that you would ever see. Browns versus Steelers. It was a close game all around, and it was a battle in the snow in Cleveland. The two cities separated by less than an hour or so, and the Browns fans were, despite a very poor season, they were fired up for this game. It's a division rivalry, and the Steelers could not match the Browns' intensity. Jameis Winston became a hero for the Browns, and despite a fumble that gave Pittsburgh Steelers a little bit of a hope, it seemed that the Browns definitely had the Steelers' number that day. And the Steelers, after coming off a great win against the Ravens, opened the door a little bit for the Ravens again in the AFC North. As for the games today, they were not signature marquee games that you would see, but I'm going to focus on these three games today. One is the 49ers, Eagles, and Rams, and then the Ravens and Chargers. Let's start off with the 49ers and Packers. The Packers victor over the Bears. It was a very close game, 20-19 that they lost. A very controversial call at the end, but here they are. They are still right behind the Lions in the NFC race there. And the 49ers, a very disappointing loss against their division rival, the Seahawks. They had every chance to win the game. Christian McCaffrey was back, but Geno Smith scamper at the end with like 15 seconds to go, got 40 their loss. And that division right now, when you look at it, it's really packed in NFC West, because the Cardinals are 6-4, the Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers are all at 5-5. And with the 49ers currently at the bottom of the NFC West. This is a team that went to the Super Bowl last year. I thought they will bounce back in the Seattle game and then establish the foothold in the NFC West. But right now you see them, they're like struggling to, that division, anyone could win that division right now, the way it's looking. But coming back to this game, the 49ers and Packers, from when I look at what's going on right now, Purdy and Bosa are out for the 49ers, and Allen is going to start. So I think it's going to be tough going for 49ers against the Packers. I think the Packers will come out victorious in this. Not having Brandon Allen is someone who's very new, so I don't see him going into Lambeau and beating the Packers. So that's where I think it is going to be an easy win for the Packers. The Packers get a win, and the Lions, meanwhile, play at the Colts. So let's see if the Lions can keep that foothold strong on that division. I believe that they will win that game pretty easily. In the other one, Eagles and Rams coming off a win against the Patriots. That was a game that they could have lost. Again, they're at 5-5. They have every shot to make the playoffs, and they're playing the Eagles. The Eagles are traveling all the way to the West Coast. So it's a Sunday night football game. It's the only game in on the TV at the time. And let's see if the Rams defense can limit the Eagles. The one thing I can tell you right now is the Eagles defense has actually been playing much better. And the Patriots defense gave up a lot of points to the Rams. Both Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp had a field day, with Matthew Stafford just slinging it all around the field. But the Eagles will definitely limit one of the wide receivers. They will be much more disciplined than what the Patriots were, while the Rams are definitely coming up with a huge win for them. The Eagles are going to be coming into town to LA, and I'm going to think that the Eagles are going to win. That they're going to keep the on the NFC. When you look at that NFC East, Eagles are right now at 8-2. Commanders are 7-4. It's a game and a half they have right now. against the Commanders. The Commanders have lost two in a row. The Eagles are riding a six-game winning streak. I definitely see the Eagles winning this one and keeping, as I said, the keeping a very strong foothold on that division. Meanwhile, the Commanders play the Cowboys, so that should be a winnable game for them. So they will continue to push the Eagles in that division as well against the Cowboys. The Cowboys playing without Dak and Cooper Rush, and the Cowboys lost to the Texans at home last week. As far as the other game that I was going to cover was the Ravens and Chargers. This is again a good chance for the Ravens. Both the Chargers have been playing well. The Chargers are at 7-3. The Ravens are also at 7-4. So this is an exciting matchup in the mid season. I definitely think the Ravens. One thing for them, that they really struggle against teams like the Steelers, but teams like Chargers. I do think the Lamar will be back, but it's on the road. It's tomorrow, Monday Night Football, the only game in town. And I feel that the Chargers are playing much better. They definitely need to push the Chiefs in that division. But when I look at it, Jim Harbaugh, has definitely, John Harbaugh has definitely gotten them playing much better today. And in fact, in the last four or the last five head-to-head contests, I think Baltimore has defeated LA four times, and they typically score a lot of points against them. And I definitely think when I look at the Ravens, their passing and rushing, they're very balanced. They're very, very balanced offense. That is when they play well. And Lamar Jackson is actually having an MVP type performance this year, 25 touchdowns, three interceptions. And Derrick Henry has been very good. I still think that they will limit Derrick Henry because they still need him for the playoffs. So they would do everything in their power to keep it balanced. The Chargers, meanwhile, they I thought they would be, they're just scoring 22 points a clip. So not really impressive, while Ravens are scoring at 30 points a clip. So J.K. Dobbins, one of the ex-Ravens, has scored, 8 touchdowns for them. Herbert has actually very subdued year. I mean, 13 touchdowns only. But his passing percentage is not bad, 63, 64%. That's good. And Dobbins is also a good um, receiver from time to time, catching the passes in the backfield. Lad McConkey has been pretty good, 4 touchdowns this year. So I expect a very good match, but I still think that the Ravens, because of the fact that they've actually dominated the Chargers, I feel that they are going to come up victorious on the road against the Chargers. So those are the three marquee games I see on the calendar today. Again, the Chiefs are traveling to the Panthers. I think they will get their mojo back. The Chiefs, well, that's what the Chiefs do after losing a game. I believe the Bills are actually off, so this gives a chance for the Chiefs to kind of go establish that number one seed in the AFC. They are at 9-1. They'll jump into 10-1, and they will go one game clear of the Bills. But the Bills have to keep winning. The Chiefs have to at least lose one game before the Bills can get any home field advantage throughout the playoff, which I definitely think they would need. Going into Arrowhead is going to be a very tough task for any team. And last week I was talking about how where Steelers could pose as one of the threats for the Chiefs. But after watching the Steelers on the road in Cleveland, I think the Chiefs are still, despite all the injuries, despite Mahomes has actually started to play well, but I feel that it's going to be a tall task for anyone. But we're still about 5, 6 games away from the playoffs. But right now, when I look at the divisions, I see the Bills clearly going to win the division for AFC East. They're going to wrap it up very quickly. The Dolphins are 4-6. They're playing the Patriots. The Dolphins will win this one, but they're still far away from taking on the Bills there. Maybe it'll help their playoff push, but they're still far away from that as well because you got the Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos in the AFC West. In the AFC North, you got the Steelers and Ravens. And then in the AFC South, you got the Texans. So those are the teams right now. If the playoffs started today, I would put the Bills, Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Steelers, Ravens, and Texans. The 7 teams right now would be my pick for the playoffs on the AFC side of things. While in the NFC side of things, we have the Eagles and Commanders in NFC East. I think there's only one team in the NFC West is going to win, make the playoffs. In the NFC North, you have three teams, could be the Lions, Vikings, and Packers. And then in the NFC South, you got the Falcons. Maybe, I would say another team in the NFC West. Maybe all four teams in the NFC West could make the playoffs. So the way it's looking right now, because of course the Buccaneers, if the Buccaneers keep winning, um, I think that would help make their playoff push. I think those are I would say, the four teams in the NFC West and maybe the Buccaneers. The three teams in the NFC West, because you'll have one division winner and then one team, and then Buccaneers could be, or Buccaneers or Saints could easily be the seventh team making the playoffs in that. So much more clear cut in the AFC than the NFC. So that's where we are right now on week number 12. So with that, we wrap it up. Thanks again for listening, and thank you for supporting as always.
Thank you for listening. Primo will be back soon.